the county just voted to purchase the Ellis Crossing and give it to you guys down there. What's your intent to using that?
I have three uses for it, three purposes. The first is I've got to have a lab that is big enough to do the Georgia Film Institute. Whereas, just as an example of what I need, whereas, for example, if I train a guy to do framing carpentry for a house, all I have to have is a place big enough to swing 2x4s and put a saw and hammer and nails. And I teach him the hammer and nails and the wood part. But if I teach him how to build a set for the Georgia Film Institute, those mechanical skills are the same, but he has to be working in the same place at the same time as the guy who is hauling electrical, who's hanging lights, who are moving cameras, who are doing all these other things. So I've got to have a facility that looks like and works like a soundstage for the movie industry. Now that Bilo grocery store that used to be in there, that's what we're going to do with it. We'll basically gut it out and make it into basically a big hollow box that you can hang movie lights and that kind of stuff in, and then that will be a learning lab for our Georgia Film Institute.
But you're going.
The rest of it, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, well, the rest of it will be either classrooms or office space. Most of it will be classrooms. I've got a bottleneck on the campus. We have up in front next to the fire station, we have the old Highway Patrol station. And the road comes in there, cuts in front of my main building 200, and then goes back out on the other side of the fire station. And the throughput back into the backside of the campus is difficult, but that's where all my adult literacy students are back there. And so there's a bottleneck, and it kind of creates some issues back there. So what I want to do, my thinking is I will convert some of those storefronts into storefront classrooms and some teacher office space there. And that's basically where adult education is going to move to. And they'll have all new space. The big thing is they'll have parking. Right now, my limiting factor on campus is parking above everything.
As far as the complex itself, do you plan on removing what's there and rebuilding, or just using as is?
No, it'll be a renovation project. Yeah, mm-hmm. It'll be a renovation.
Inside and outside, or both? That
kind of depends on how far the money will go. We're working with the county, with the SPLOST funds. But as a government entity, I can't do that directly. So my foundation has the lead of doing that. But basically, what will happen is we're going to kind of start from the inside out. The inside, basically, to get the functionality I need, and then as I have dollars left over, a facade will come up also. Mm-hmm. But a little paint and cleanup, and as the guy on the Do-It-Yourself network says, lipstick and mascara will go a long way to the front side of that. Mm-hmm. But I'm planning on using the back side of it, part of it, as is for movie lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a big industry right now in Georgia.
Oh, yes, sir. And we've been working on it almost 3 years, and I have hired a couple of instructors. In fact, I hired the guy who's the executive director of my Georgia Film Institute. I hired him away from the school superintendent. He was teaching video for Spalding High School, but he has 25 years working in Hollywood. Mm. And so he's made all the contacts. We have worked with. He's been in our building here helping our students already last semester. The guy who did the lighting for the Hunger Games movies. Mm-hmm. We have contacted all these guys, the studio heads and all of that, to sort out what it is that they need new employees to be. Groundwork we're working from. Folks like the university system. The College of Art and Design, Savannah, SCAD, and those kind of folks teach, how to design, how to write scripts, how to direct, and all that. We're not going to teach any of that stuff. What we teach is how to build a set, how to get the lights right, how to stay out of everybody else's way while you're doing your part, mm-hmm. and that sort of thing. And that's the critical element in the Georgia film industry right now. That we don't have people who are doing that. The guys who are making movies in Georgia are hiring grips and dollies and all these guys, sound guys and light guys and all that. They're hiring them from New York and Canada, and they come in, they work 9 months, get paid $85,000, and then take their money with them, and they leave.
Well, that's
And
not
so what
good.
we're trying to do is create exactly. And I mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry in Georgia. But these guys who are doing that behind-the-scenes kind of work of building sets and doing the painting and all that kind of stuff, the girls who do the hair and makeup, I have 2 cosmetology programs that I train licensed cosmetologists when they graduate by giving them 2 or 3 extra courses on things like special effects makeup and continuity and those kind of things that the movie industry needs. Those girls then become available for hire, qualified for hire. To be hair and makeup folks from the movie industry, and they need hundreds of those too. So
Sure.
so that's where our focus is. But I don't need all that space for that particular function. So what I'm doing is we'll do some renovation, some clean up, paint up, fix up, some new carpet and stuff like that. And it will basically be an extension of the campus here next door.
How soon will you the project get underway?
I don't know the answer to that yet. We're still in the design phase. The step 1 was get it off the market. The owner is in Marietta, and he was getting a little antsy, maybe to sell it or lease it to somebody else, and so we kind of need to make that happen first. And so now we're kind of backing into the plan, but the county got it off the market for us. And
I think the county got a pretty good a deal out of it.
They did, yes, sir. Oh yeah, the price is right. That's almost 70,000 square feet.
Yes, it is.
And
yes.
I could not build anything near 70,000 square feet for $500,000.
I think not today.
Not even a part of that, really. So it's a good plan. We've got an architect who is working bathrooms and public spaces and HVAC and all that kind of stuff, plans for us, and then we'll look and see how much money there is, how much that gets done. So.
Well, listen, I appreciate your time talking with me this morning and letting me know what's going on. But it sounds good to me,
Well, I hope the community will appreciate what we're trying to do. We don't have space to build anything else on our campus in Griffin. I mean, we're basically landlocked, and the most valuable thing I got right now on my campus is a parking space.
Did the at one time there was talk that the city was going to move that fire station up to the corner across from Ellis Crossing on property that's owned by the UGA.
Right.
And what was to be done with that piece of property after they moved, I don't know. I think they were going to lease it to you or give it to you or sell it to you or whatever.
Well, yeah, and I think at the magic hand wave level, that's about all the conversation that there was. I did have a talk with Tommy Jones, the fire chief, and I did have a talk with Kenny Smith when I first got here. And it was kind of the magic hand wave. Yeah, well, someday if we can ever get another fire station up the road, this one becomes excess, and maybe we can do something with it. And I thought, yeah, that's a good idea. And my plan would be if it came with a bulldozer, I'd really like that, because then my campus would be on the road instead of behind the fire station. The first time I ever came up here to Griffin Tech at the time, it's been years ago, I drove past the school twice before I found out where it was.
What is the old saying?
And I know a lot of people do that.
What's the saying? Visibility, visibility, visibility.
Yeah, exactly. And if I could open it up, I'd get a few more parking spaces. I could put some green space out there, a couple of park benches, make it look, real nice. But
I hope you're going to do
discussion about.
I'm sure you're going to do something with that drab-looking complex down there that you're fixing to get, where it'll look a little bit,
Yes, sir. And part of it, if you came to me, for example, you're a movie guy, and you said, hey, I want to use that to shoot a movie in, but I need the outside of it, to look like a shopping center. I say, great, make it look like a shopping center, and then when you're done, put it back like it was. And the deal would be, except you have to use my students to help you make your movie. And then when my students leave here, if we could get that to happen, when my students leave here, they would leave with a little portfolio that said, I worked on this particular movie. I know what I'm doing. I've been there.
Did not
and
the
that's
movie
kind of
Walking?
A long-range plan.
Did not the movie Walking Dead film some scenes?
Walking Dead has been in there a couple of times. Yes, they sure have.
I thought they did. Yeah.
And it's kind of what got me thinking about it to start with. That if it's interesting to The Walking Dead just as it is, then by golly, if I had guys that we were training on how to do the lights and sound and moving stuff around and rigging and all those kind of things that the industry needs, wouldn't that be valuable to somebody?
Sure it would.
And couldn't we parlay that into jobs for kids who want to go in the movie industry? And so that was really the source of the thinking about this whole thing.
Well, we're past the days of cotton mills, I believe.
Oh yes, sir. We're still basically a mill town, only we got no mill. So we got to find something else to do with all these kids, so they don't wind up moving to Florida or Alabama or someplace.
That's right.
To get work. That we need to train them to do something valuable to our community and keep them here. And that's kind of what motivates me to come to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's my piece of the action is to give them a valuable, viable career skill set so they can stay here and grow up in this community and be the leaders that we're going to need, coming up. So.
Well, listen, Dr. Peters, it's very good talking with you this morning,
well,
this cold
here,
morning.
Yeah, it is. If I can, let you know, I mean, we're a public institution. We do public business in the public. So, if I can help you in any way, please let me know.
I'll give you a call.
All right. Thanks, Bob. All right.
Thank you.
We'll see you. Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.